Welcome to another episode of Distilled Conversation. I'm Brian.
I'm Gavin.
And today we got a very special episode. We've been promising this since day one, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
Had a little hiccup at the beginning of January.
A little bit.
But this is going to be our tribute to Kobe. But before we get to that, we're going to do a very special tasting where we're tasting three aspects of scotches, three locales, three price points. A Tomatin, Bladnoch, and of course the one that we tried day one.
Yeah, this is the A'Bunadh from Aberlour. Now, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing it right. In Scotland, they pronounce everything a little bit differently, but I know it tastes good.
Yeah. So our concept on this one was there's no bad whiskey. It's just the whiskey you prefer. And can you get a good scotch at a low price point? Or do you really need to save up the money
and break the bank? No, I totally feel like you can find very good scotch at a low price point. You can find very bad scotch at a high price point.
Mm-hmm.
In all fairness, people who say they don't like scotch, in my opinion, just haven't tasted the right one.
Yeah. There are definitely introductory scotches that if you're wanting to get into a scotch whiskey, you should definitely tip your toes into first, because you do not want to get a scotch that's heavily peated, and you not be ready for that.
Let me tell you, that's for most people, that's a bad experience when they get those heavily peated scotches first. However, I have met one or two people that from the first time they tasted peat, they loved it.
Yeah.
Me, the first time I tasted peat, I thought it was horrible.
Oh, I thought it was horrible too.
But
Lagavulin.
Yeah. Well, but now that I've expanded my palate a little bit, now Lagavulin, yum. Mm-hmm. I've had some peated scotches that I just have fallen in love with now, but it didn't start out that way. And I'm a fairly experienced drinker. Now, none of these scotches, I don't believe, are peated, are they?
If there's any peat in them, it's going to be very slight. The locales aren't specifically known for doing anything with the grain prior to distilling.
Now, I know for a fact that
this one does have a darkish color, so there may be a little something to that.
Could be the barrel. Now, I know that I actually went to Tomatin's distillery and had a great time. Shout out to the people at Tomatin. They treated me like family. They are not known for their peat. They're from the Highlands, not known for their peat, but they do have one or two expressions that do have peat, but you have to get them over there. I think there's one called the Cubocan. And I actually brought a bottle back with me, and it is lightly peated. Okay. Very light, but their stock and trade is not peated. Okay. I've never tried this one.
So I'm gonna go ahead and open this one.
Crack it open, man.
There may be a little kind of time. I've gotten better at my editing.
Okay.
But I think that cracked off pretty quick.
All right.
All right. Now, which one do you want to start with as far as glass goes?
Well, I'm okay with going with the Glencairn, right?
Let's save that for the big boy.
Okay. Well, all right.
Because you don't really want to mix them, because you're gonna.
I was going to rinse them out with a little of this mineral water, but no, we can change. Okay, let's go. Let's do it in let's do these. Okay, now these glasses, right? I got from a good friend of ours, Hiko.
Okay.
He got these from Japan.
All right.
And the mountaintops on the bottom, I think there's supposed to be different aspects of Mount Fuji.
Okay.
So, here we go. All right.
So this is a Tomatin Highland single malt Scotch. Dualchas is is the I guess the brand name. It's a bourbon and virgin oak cast. It's what it's in. 43% alcohol, so 86 proof.
Yeah. All right.
Get our nose on it.
Get a nose.
Very light. Very light smell to it.
I smell like apple cinnamon personally.
A little apple, yeah.
It's not heavy on the alcohol. It doesn't burn the nose or anything like that.
Well, it's not extremely high proof either. It's,
no.
You know, bare minimum is 40. It's at 43,
which is very pleasing.
Yes.
You know, because it's easier to drink. This would be, well, I haven't tasted it, but this would probably be considered an everyday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I smell a lot of apple cinnamon, me personally. Very, very easy.
Very easy, very light. Not a huge burn.
Not a huge burn. This is definitely could be considered an introductory Scotch.
Yeah.
But, you know.
And I think, so I talked to you about a whiskey, a Scotch that I tried, I have at home, I'll bring in, that has a taste of a peated nature to it, but it's not peated at all. But the reason why is because of the barrel that they use to finish the Scotch in. And I think we're getting a slight bit of that in this as well.
Well, you know what I do taste, right? Tasting is very light, borderline sweet, not really offensive at all. However, after on the finish, it reminds you it's Scotch. I get all the Scotch, you know, like what separates Scotch from bourbon. I get all that barley and stuff like that right on the finish. But going down,
and I agree with you. It's got a sweet component to it, so it's definitely more of a dessert Scotch, after dinner Scotch. You know, very pleasant, very pleasing, very non-offensive.
Very easy, very easy. It's definitely an everyday Scotch. But on the finish, I do taste those. What makes a Scotch is the barley, and I definitely know that if you blindfolded me, I'd know that it's Scotch.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely know this was Scotch as well. Let's put a little bit of water in there.
Yeah.
See how that kind of opens it up.
All right, yeah, let's do a little water. Let's check it out.
But give you guys a price component idea. This bottle retails for about $30. I got this one and this one at Specs. So $30 for this one. This one retails for about $60. Of course,
this is about 100 plus.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. When you put water in, you don't want to douse it with water. You go in like a drop or two at a time. Literally a drop or two at a time. The standard is, I would say, is about 3. Well, you'll be all right if you do that, because the 2 drops you get out of there, it'll be fine with the next coming up Scotch, especially for this big boy.
Okay.
Because
we've already tried that one.
This one is like 60%, so you know you're gonna be fine. Okay. Oh. That little drop of water, I think, opens it up quite a bit, actually. It does bring out the barley a little bit more. But you know what I got? I got like almost a hint of, with the apple, almost like a hint of raisin. Now, I know you only went about 1 drop of water in there.
I did like 2 or 3.
2 or 3? Okay.
2 or 3.
What do you think once you put the water in? I could definitely drink this on a summer day outside. I could just, that's almost a scary box. That's so easy.
It's very easy, especially if you had like a nice round ice or something like that. No, but as far as the raisin goes, I'm not a fan of raisins. No. But definitely,
what are you tasting?
Definitely the apple component. Little smoothness on the back end.
Well, what do they say you're supposed to be tasting in this?
Let's see.
You got the box.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Aroma is vanilla, marshmallow, pineapple, some lemon.
I get a little pineapple. I can see that.
Candy pine. It says lemon sherbet, apples. Definitely apples. It says a sponge cakiness. And I did think I tasted a little bit of kind of like you said, like a very a sweet component to it. As far as as it spread across my tongue. So definitely a nice dessert whiskey. If you're looking for something to sit down and drink, after you've had a nice
meal. I mean, or just if you're sitting down and you got a day to yourself and you just want to relax a little bit and just unwind, this is definitely Scotch to do that with, because it's very easy, very easy.
Very easy. All
right. So, ready to try the mid-range. I am very, very, very interested in this one right here.
Yeah, a very beautiful bottle. The box that it came in was, I'll pull that box real quick so we can look up the components that it. But, so the Bladnoch Lowland single malt, so different locale.
Okay.
Alcohol is 46.7, so that's about a 95.4%.
Right.
Proof. Let's see. Notes: floral grass, green apples again in every sip. It's aged in a sherry and bourbon cask.
Sherry and bourbon, okay.
So,
all right. Let's get out the second glass, right? Here we go. Now, just so you guys know, the actual perfect glass for Scotch is the Glencairn, but I got a whole bunch of different little whiskey glasses. I figured, let's play around.
And what's the reason for that? Well, why is this the ideal glass for
this
Scotch
glass right here,
this style or shape?
The Glencairn. What happens is you have all the alcohol at the bottom. I probably will say this once we're doing the A'Bunadh, but anyways, you have all the alcohol at the bottom. All those perfumes that are coming off of it bundle up, and then they hit the neck right there, and that way you actually get an experience when you're smelling it. Versus when it's open like this. This would be more for like a mixed drink, really.
Yeah. Really good for like an old fashioned.
Oh my gosh, great for an old fashioned. This is my old fashioned glass.
Okay.
For sure. Or there are certain bourbons that, like just like an everyday drinker, and I can just have those. I'm not worried about the olfactory experience.
Yeah.
I'm just having a good time, just enjoying myself. And these glasses are great. And honestly, the inspiration I got for these glasses, true story. I used to watch this show called Lucifer.
Okay, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it was like the devil was on earth and he was actually doing good deeds and stuff like that. But at his club, he had these glasses or a version of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked so cool on the screen. I said, hey, man. I asked my wife, I said, hey, can you find these glasses? And she, man, my wife is amazing. She did all of this. So, kudos to her.
All right.
All right. Now, here's the difference. So in this glass, do you smell it?
No, unfortunately, you don't. It's the aroma is definitely lost.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a kind of a cup method. Get a little bit more scent.
A little more, but yes, and this is exactly why I'm glad we actually use this because you can see the difference.
Yeah.
When you have this, you're not getting that flavor in your nose because a lot of your taste comes through your nose. So
well, and there's a component, an aroma component that the manufacturer intended with this particular whiskey, and it like good glass, great for old fashions or like you said, mixed drinks. But to drink it straight up, you're losing that.
You are, yes,
unfortunately.
And high-end whiskey, you wouldn't want to lose that.
No. All right. A little bit more heat on this one, but not by much. It's only a 3% jump. Still very palatable, though. Very, very nice. I don't know if the $30 jump and that extra cup roll percentage of alcohol makes this a better buy, though.
I agree. There is a little more depth to this.
Yeah, a little bit more depth. No, I definitely agree with that. And we're not here to disparage one whiskey of the other. No. This is definitely a good, palatable whiskey. But, the purpose of this episode is, do you need to go high in order to have an enjoyable whiskey? And I think right off the bat, our answer is no. You don't need to go all out. You can spend $30 on a good bottle of Scotch and be happy.
Be very happy. Very happy.
You'll be happier with the 100 proof.
True.
That's one that you share for special occasions, but one that you pull out to give to a friend to sit down and have a nice Scotch.
Here's what's interesting. So at the first sip, I tasted caramel to milk chocolate, very light. Borderline sweet, but not really sweet. Borderline sweet, like almost a milk chocolate caramel.
I got the chocolate, definitely got the caramel.
Yep. And pleasant. There was a little more complexity to it, a little more depth to it. Immediately, that one right there, I felt like was an everyday drinker or all-day drinker. This one, I think I would do about 2 or 3, and then I'd be like, all right, I'm good. For the price points, I personally would say that the Tomatin would, I would go with that. For the price, I would go with the Tomatin.
No, this is not a bad Scotch.
No. This is a good Scotch.
If this is your cup of tea, keep drinking that tea, man. Keep drinking that tea.
Now I got to drop a little water in to see what happens. All right. Now get a little water into here. Yeah, so I'm going to pour it into the Glencairn first. Oops, made a little spill there. No big deal. Okay. Then pour that out. Now, let's see, that's 2, 3. There we go. That's usually my magic number.
Three drops is a good number of drops.
I like 3 drops.
You know, it gives enough water just to kind of help separate.
And it doesn't take much. Please understand that you will taste the difference. I promise you will taste the difference. Okay. Personally, I like this one better with a little water.
Yes.
I still taste the chocolate, but now, it went away. There's a caramel, but there's also a little bit of a tang to it now, almost. It's not really a bite. Both of these are very smooth, by the way. Both of these are very, very smooth. But I feel like this is a little more pleasurable with just a few added drops of water, All
right. I'm gonna do it.
That's something I could watch TV too. I can sit back, relax, hang out with it. So you're comparing right now, huh? I'm with you.
Because straight up, I like this one a lot better.
I agree.
But adding the water gave this one a little bit more complexity.
It did. It really did.
I mean,
it
side by side, this didn't change very much.
Not a lot.
I didn't expect it to change a lot.
No.
But when I added the water, like you said, this is not bad if you just want to, this is an everyday drinker.
Every day.
This is right here. You got a show on. You got your show on.
Mm-hmm.
You had a rough day.
Yeah.
And you just want to pour you a nice little glass,
mm-hmm.
drop a couple, water in there, and just sit down and watch your show.
Yeah.
Drink it. This is that Scotch.
Yeah.
So kudos to this maker. This is a good Scotch. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like how the complexity went up a level as soon as you put the water in.
Yeah.
So that's some kudos to them. I like that. I enjoy that. And listen, whiskey is something that you can play with. You can do all kind of things. I personally don't really put put ice in my Scotch, but there are people who do. And okay, you do you. Get your big ice ball, whatever. But I'm a purist by nature. I go neat.
Yes.
And then I'll play from there. But I always start neat,
Any whiskey, in my personal opinion, you should start neat.
Preach.
As I've said before, try the whiskey as the maker intended you to taste that whiskey, and then add to it as your palate dictates. If you just need a couple drops of water, that's all you need. If you need a drop of ice to kind of chill it down a little bit,
mm-hmm.
then get you a round cube and throw you some ice in there.
I agree.
There is no wrong way to drink a whiskey.
You know what?
We're not here to bash you in your way.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't mix it with. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll be calling out family members doing that. I'm not going to do that. You mix it however you want.
You do whatever you want to do. Just we won't. There are some things that are sinful, in my opinion. But you do what you want to do. You spent the money on it.
In my brain, if you have to put that whiskey in a Dr. Pepper or Coke in order to enjoy it, just drink the Dr. Pepper.
That hurts.
Buy you a different
just
whiskey.
to hear Dr. Pepper, just to hear Dr. Pepper and Scotch, it hurts.
Well, I'm just talking about any whiskey.
Yeah,
just go. They'll let you sample the whiskey. Go there on a day where they got a bunch of whiskeys and go sample one until you find the one you like.
You know what? Hey,
that's how I found out that I'm an Irish drinker, or Irish whiskey drinker. I'm sure that's how you found out that you're a Scotch fan.
Well, here's my thing. Okay, with all due respect, there are certain whiskeys I will mix the hell out of. I will, like I'm a very, very, very big fan of Maker's Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Right, very big fan of them, and all their expressions. Right, but I will beat the hell out of it. I will mix it. Sometimes put a little water. Sometimes put a little. I really don't do a lot of ice, but if it's a mixed drink, I'll mix it. I'll play with Maker's Mark. Bourbon, I play with all day.
Oh yeah.
Scotch is a little more sacred to me. Scotch is like, it's just a little more sacred to me. It's kind of like my wife.
Yeah.
And I don't play around too much with it. Every now and then, if I have a cheaper Scotch, like if I got the Tomatin, and I'm feeling a little frisky and been drinking a little bit, and I was like, why don't I just try to make a Rob Roy?
Yeah.
I may do that, but as you get higher up, there is like I said, I'm a purist. I won't play around too much.
Well, just like with me with Irish whiskeys, there's a component that
we got to do an Irish whiskey episode.
Oh yeah, no, we will. I got a cabinet full of Irish.
Okay,
whiskeys.
We're gonna do an Irish whiskey episode, and we're gonna do a carefully selected peated episode.
Okay, that's fine. We'll do levels of peat.
He's gonna do
levels of peat.
Oh, levels of. Ooh, be careful.
No, it's all right. No, but here's the thing. You got to work up to that.
Yes,
you can't just go to the top level.
No,
you can't go to the mountaintop and not expect to feel short-winded.
Oh, no,
okay?
No, you can't.
You got to work your way up there.
You got to take your time up in the Himalayas.
Otherwise, you're going to get to the top of that mountain and you're going to be no. So story time. So my first introduction to a Scotch was on a whiskey flight at BJ's.
Okay, cool.
So that's how I got myself introduced to whiskey. That's how I got myself back into the alcohol game. So for those that don't know, I used to have a problem with alcohol, stepped away for about 10 years. Instead of coming back into the fray full bore, I decided to become a connoisseur of the liqueur, and learn about the nuances of Scotch, of Irish
and
whiskeys,
respect
of bourbon,
it.
and respect it. Yes, I do have rules that I apply on my life because of my past, but I don't allow my past to limit my ability to enjoy the beverage. This does not mean that you can also go about this avenue. This is just a way that I've been able to navigate it through the course of my life for about the last 15 years. So that being said, the way that I came across Scotch was going up to the bar, seeing the different whiskeys that they have up at BJ's, and then ordering a flight and saying, I want this, 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 and this. And they'll bring it out in little Glencairn glasses, and you can sample the whiskey to determine. And of course, I'm looking at it, and let me try that one. It didn't happen to be the Lagavulin. And it was a pretty good year. I think it was like a 10 or 15 year. So nothing too high, but nothing that was just bottled at that particular point in time and put on the shelf. So I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
Try the first glass, not too bad. Try the second glass, not too bad. Try the third glass, happened to be the Lagavulin, and spit that back out. So do not let that be your first introduction to Scotch. You will take a long time to go back.
Now, I'm not sure if I told my story with peated Scotch on a previous episode. I'm not sure.
You may have, but let's roll it again. It doesn't
Okay,
matter.
let's do it.
Yeah. For the newcomers who don't know.
This is Distilled Conversations.
That's right.
All right, so so here's the deal. So me and my buddy Brent, right? It's my best friend in Texas. We had gone to a Scotch tasting at Total Wine. Shout out to Total Wine. They take care of me really well. Great selection. Unbeatable customer service.
Oh yeah, no.
Unbeatable. Anyways, so we had gone to a Scotch class and I had learned about Scotch. And they were saying all these things about it and how it's made and history and things like that. And they said, hey, listen, we were trying so many Scotches. And then at the end, they said, the last two are peated and they're peated heavily. Mm-hmm. You can't taste these until the end because
throw your palate.
It's going to ruin your palate. Okay. So we get there and get to the last two. And I thought I was drinking an ashtray. I was like, ah! It was horrible. I was like, who would pay for this? Right? And I drank them both. And
because they were free.
Well, I paid the entry fee, but basically
they were part of
the package. Horrible. Well, I'm not going to say horrible. I didn't like it at the time. So we left there, got to his house, hanging out a little bit. About 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, that taste, like you said, it'll ruin your palate. The taste will stay with you. But 20, 30 minutes later, the taste is starting to taste like pretty decent barbecue.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm getting that flavor. And like, okay, maybe I kind of understand. However, at that tasting, they were giving the lowest levels of some scotches. It wasn't the better scotches.
Yeah.
But I started to understand the peat. I started to understand the flavor behind it, the smokiness, and you got to get past it. Just like your first time ever having alcohol, all you taste is alcohol. You don't see all the stuff behind it.
No, I remember having my first beer with my dad. It was the worst thing I ever put in my mouth. You know?
but there's stuff behind it, and if you can get your brain to look past it and see everything else, now it becomes pleasurable. So after that, I was like, okay, you know what? I think I get the peat, but these were cheap peated scotches. Let me try a good one. And I tried the Lagavulin. I went to the Lagavulin 16 and I tasted it, and it was very smoky, peated, it was heavy. And at that time, my palate wasn't quite ready for it, but I could understand why it was. Lagavulin 16 is a very, very well-respected Scotch.
Yeah.
Very well-respected. And I could understand what they were talking about. But I wasn't there yet. People in YouTube world or whichever, Instagram or wherever, understand there's levels to drinking this. If you got to work your way up to it, what you can handle now or what you can't, you may be able to handle later.
And another thing is that, let's say you try something that's only been distilled for 6, 8, 10 years. Mm-hmm. Try the next step up. It's going to cost you a little bit more, but you may actually like that version of it because the complexity has mellowed out a little bit. It's pulled a little bit from the barrel it was sitting in. Because that plays a little bit. Sometimes they just sit
it
in
plays
the barrel.
A lot.
They've only set it in the barrel for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's only pulled a little bit of complexity from the barrel and remove some of the harshness. You know, the longer it sits in the barrel, the best whiskey, it cost me a pretty penny. Best whiskey, Macallan.
Which one?
I think it was a 20-year. It cost a pretty penny for a shot of Macallan.
Yeah.
But it was like drinking water. I kid you not. Like drinking water. There was virtually no burn. It was just smooth, just such easiness going down. I was like, I can understand why people pay the money they pay for that glass. I'll never do it again. I got the experience. Thank you very much. But that was it. But literally the best whiskey I've ever put in my mouth. But it's
really, that was the best whiskey ever. 20-year Macallan.
But it had to sit in the barrel for that long.
Now
for the harshness.
I may have to go out and go to a tasting and get a 20-year Macallan. I've had an 18.
Literally like a water in your mouth. Just such smoothness.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Testify.
For me, the best whiskey I've ever had, period, bar none. I told my wife on my deathbed, I don't care if I'm hooked up to a trach. I don't care what they got going on me. My last drink, I would like it to be Balvenie 21-year Portwood. That to me is like for me, the Michael Jordan. We did an episode on him. The Michael Jordan of whiskey. It's got a little bit of peat. It's heavy into the Portwood. It was aged 21 years. Picked up the barrel. It's got complexity. It's got everything. And that to me is everything I'm looking for. Now, what's interesting is that that's not necessarily an everyday drinker. Because it's just
that's one that you pull out for special moments.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen situations where individuals had whiskey bottles like that, and they lost their ever-loving mind when somebody went to grab it just for a sit-down drink.
No!
Not that type of occasion. We just having drinks right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to the next shelf down. You don't grab from there.
No. So that is my go-to for, best thing I've ever had until something knocks it off. And here's the thing. I had a very good friend of mine. He happened to be a general manager at a restaurant that I was going to. And he let me sample the 21 versus 30 year of Balvenie. And the 30 year was actually smoother. No burn. But 30 years in a barrel, you pick up a lot of things. Some of that happens to be wood.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you lose a lot of things the longer it sits in the barrel. You know, you lose some of the complexity of the whiskey itself and the barley and the whatnot.
So I told him, I said, hey, look, I thought 30 year was smoother than silk, but I still like the 21 better. And he said, I agree with you, but he said, you know how many people would have came into this place and once they tasted the 30 year, knowing how much it cost, would have automatically said, this is better? Because their mind, I'm spending more, so it's better.
The price.
That's kind of what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Right? And I said, nah. I said, it took on too much of the barrel. He says, I agree.
Well, at this particular point in time, we're in agreement. Mm-hmm. Straight up?
Yeah.
A little bit of water?
A little bit of water, and...
We haven't touched it yet.
Well, we already know. But anyways, we haven't touched it yet. But what I'm saying is that don't let the price, age statement, the marketing change what you like. You like what you like. Yeah. Enjoy it. How you want to enjoy it? Enjoy it. When I see the ice and Scotch, I do cringe a little bit. But you do what you do. You know what I mean? All right, let's do this.
Don't let our twitch adjust your way.
All right.
The big boy's coming out.
Here we go. Now, this is the Aberlour A'Bunadh.
Now, so this go back to our first episode where we try this whiskey and discuss the topic of MJ and LeBron. But this was the first whiskey that we tried on that episode. Came out the gun Big Bore.
Yeah.
All
right. Now, we're in the Glencairn end. You get all the...
Yeah, you get all that pull in. Because all those fumes are kind of collected right here. So when you're able to breathe in, like this one, there was just nothing. It was
there was really nothing.
I kid you not. Like I smelled more in this smaller glass than I did. There was just too much open face, you know.
Okay, I can smell the sherry cask that they put it in. I definitely smell like the wine flavored sherry.
And I got a little bit of a kind of a grassy note.
Hold on, let me look for that.
A little bit grassy.
Okay. Note. Fresh cut grassy note. Oh, you know what? I never actually looked for that before, but now that you said it now, it's interesting.
Yeah. It's still just so nice on the nose. Just, I don't even need to taste it. It just
now
smell it. It smells so good.
60%. The far jump from 46. Farther jump from 46.
Oh yeah, no.
So we're gonna taste this neat first, always. Then as we add in water, maybe a little bit, maybe a lot, but it's understood when you're dealing with cask strength. This is straight out the barrel. This is not watered down to what they think the clientele wants. This is what you get. Straight out the barrel, cask strength.
So what you'll also notice is that every whiskey we've tried up to this point has always been above 40%. Me and Gavin, we have a philosophy that 40% is the bare minimum that's required for a whiskey to be considered a whiskey. And if we want 40% in our bottle, we'll distill it down ourselves.
Exactly. Thank you. All right.
There's a spicy note, but I don't know if it's from the alcohol or from the whiskey itself. Oh, it's so good.
A lot of heat to it.
Lots of heat.
A lot of heat to it. But, you know, I mean, we know this going in. So it's not as much of a problem because we know this going in. I definitely taste the wine. It's like the sherry cask. It's almost like a sweet, how do I describe it? Almost tamarind, like a tamarind. You ever had tamarinds? It's a Caribbean fruit. There's a tamarind flavor to it. As you drink it more, I've had enough of this to know. As you drink it more, you start tasting different things. It's very complex when you give it a chance.
It's super complex. There's so many components. There is definitely an art that went into this particular bottle.
Yes.
There is a reason why the price is there for this bottle. And even though that, you know, we've been using this glass for the drops of water, you were right on. It had no effect.
Yeah.
At all.
1 or 2 drops, you know, I put in a third of a capful because I know what this stuff is like. And you don't have to be scared to water this down.
And it doesn't take much. Like Ivan said, it doesn't take much. I think the ratio is like a 1 to 10, if I remember correctly, as far as water to whiskey component. To be able to introduce and separate the different alcohol and oils within. Again, it just the water just opens it up. A little bit of water, just is your friend. Don't be afraid of water. Try it neat, and then after you try it neat, put a couple drops of changes. It changes the whole complexity and nuances of the whiskey itself. It just makes it just I can't explain it. You have to try it yourself.
This is called a distilled conversation. Mm.
It's so nice, so nice. I mean, just that little bit of capful of water kind of pushes down that alcohol component a little bit, makes it a little bit more palatable. And that's my word of the day. That's my word every single time. Can I sit down and just enjoy this whiskey?
Yes,
and the answer is yes. I can enjoy that one, and that. That one I can enjoy neat every day. That one I can enjoy, as you said, a little bit of water, sitting down, hard day, watching my show. That right there, I have no words for this particular Scotch. You brought in from day one a mammoth, and I challenge anyone to beat that one right now.
Well, that's a heavyweight contender. That's something like a Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
That is something like it's a beast. You know?
My love for Kobe is just, I did not grow up I did, but I didn't. I was young during the MJ era as he was coming up, 8, 9, 10, 12. You probably remember more of him than I do.
Oh, I do, because he beat my Knicks every year. But anyways.
I remember more his second run to the championship than his first. But Kobe, oh my God, I saw him come in straight out of high school. One of the few that were able to make that leap, circumventing college. You said his reason was?
He wanted to play against Michael Jordan before he retired.
He wanted to play against the best.
Against him.
I was watching a video, and it was, who was it? Shoot. It'll come to me. Don't worry. Anyways, I was watching a video, and it was one of the legends of basketball sitting down talking to Kobe, saying that he was the last of the old guard, the last of the individuals who would take the hits, would take the pain, and still muscle through to the very, very end. Some of the greatest stories I remember hearing was him tearing his Achilles heel, which we've spoken about.
Oh, God.
And not only finishing the play, but then shooting the free throws after the fact and walking off the court.
Okay, let me.
I mean, any other man would be crumpled on the floor.
I, Gavin Shepard, popped my Achilles tendon. Wasn't no getting up. No. When I tore my Achilles, they had to help me out the gym. Ended my whole basketball life. Kobe tore his Achilles, knew what happened, but he says, listen, I can't let them see me weak. He walked to the free throw line unassisted, shot, made them both, and walked. If you have never torn your Achilles, you do not understand how I'm holding back tears. This man was different. This man, Kobe Bryant, was different.
He came into the league a phenom where people first didn't understand why Jerry West wanted this guy, but Jerry West saw something that nobody else could.
He sure did. Credit to Jerry West.
And when he pulled Shaq from Orlando, the first thing he said was, I got this boy that's going to revolutionize the sport of basketball, and I want you to be alongside of him. And 3 championships with the man was the accomplishment. Now, it took him a couple years to get there.
But they got it.
Yeah.
Kobe, man, all he wanted to do was be the best. And you know what's interesting? I have always said this for like 20 years now. If Kobe had been around at his heyday during Mike's heyday, I would have really liked to see what would have happened with Mike.
Oh, Mike has said in interviews that there's a list of individuals he would have loved to play one-on-one. Mm-hmm. One of them in their prime was Kobe, and he states outright, of them all, the one person that probably could have beat him was Kobe. Now, he jokes after the fact saying because he stole all my moves.
He did.
But you can pull videos. Actually, there are videos out there of Kobe and MJ
looking exactly alike,
mirror to each other. But that's because Kobe was a student of the game.
Exactly.
And, you know, I've showed you a video where it's after the fact. He's long since retired. He's up on the stage. He's talking to somebody about defense, and they ask him why he never fell for the fake shot.
That was I saw that video. You showed it to me. It was amazing. He said there's a stance that you'll have when you're shooting. There's a stance here when you're faking. He says, I'll never go for that in a million years. And he wasn't lying.
Yeah, he's like, you know, your foot is back behind you and you're doing a fake shot. You're completely out of position. Why would you ever fall for that fake shot? There's no way, even if they attempted to try to get that off, there's no way it's going to be a clean shot.
No.
Now, why am I going to go up for the guard to block the shot when I see his foot is out of position? Now, when he's in this position where his feet are lockstep with each other and he's in there, he's going to try to shoot that all day.
But that is the difference between Kobe and everybody else, is that he was a true student of the game. It's like he didn't care who he had to get the information from. I know Michael Jordan said he would call me up 2:00 in the morning to ask me, how did you make that move? Or how did you do this fake? Or how did you do this? 2:00 in the morning. Kobe didn't care. He wanted to be the best, and he was willing to do whatever it took, whatever road he had to go down, whatever path. He'd structure his workouts. He wanted to be the best. And honestly, if Mike had to play against Kobe in Kobe's prime and Mike's prime, we would have a different story about Michael Jordan. I don't know.
So in my brain, and I've talked to you about it before, 1 is Mike, 2 is Kobe. Mm-hmm. And I've also stated that if Kobe would have three-peated that second round, there's no doubt in my mind he would have flipped it.
Well, you know what?
Because you can say,
I'm listening.
You can say that the runs on both were, because I watched the video and I pulled up a Google article, or asked Google, I should say. You know, why is it that individuals have LeBron such at a top tier? Why are they just stepping down on MJ? Not only MJ, but Kobe and their accomplishments. And the reason why they gave is because of LeBron being able to be versatile and move through all these teams, and that the factor of MJ and the factor of Kobe's wins were because of one guy.
Scottie Pippen. Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson. You know, Phil was there for all 5 of Kobe's wins. Phil was there for all 6 of MJ's wins, you know.
Right.
But, you know, the biggest thing with Kobe was that, you know, he got so much clout over the first run, being that it wasn't because of what he contributed, but because of who was on the team with him.
Shaq.
And Shaq was a dominating force. There had been, I won't say there hadn't been. There had been phenomenal centers in the past. But the reckoning that Shaq brought in from day one in the league, and what he carried that over to the Lakers when he left Orlando was just
Well,
no.
let me say this. Okay, I got to jump in here, right? Shaq. Everything they say about him is true. Beast, dominant. All of that is true.
Played around too much.
He played around too much, but still, when he got on the court, what he had was amazing, right? Got it. When they won those championships, he was a absolute monster.
Oh no, it is Shaq in his prime that first run.
Got that.
Oh my gosh.
But here's where I'm going with this.
What did he average? Like 30-something points a game?
Whatever he averaged, he was freaking. He was
nature.
just unstoppable, right? Got that.
They had to change backboards because of him.
But here's my thing, right? Okay, Shaq is number one. Kobe's number two. They won. That whole time, Shaq was number one. Kobe's holding back.
I wouldn't say Kobe's not holding back, but he hadn't quite come to his own.
Phil Jackson told Kobe, "Hey, bro."
Oh no, he told him you need to feed the big man.
You got to feed the big man. We're gonna lose. You got to feed the big. Kobe's like, "Yo, wow, I'm killing it. I'm dropping 40 a game."
But I can definitely understand why Kobe had that mentality, because Kobe is watching Shaq, where Kobe's life, breathe, eat, drink was basketball. That was his life. Outside of his family, his life was basketball. That was his first life.
Hold on, before I get off.
Shaq had music. Shaq had movies.
Yeah,
Shaq had everything else but basketball.
But let me say this.
He had talent.
The point I'm saying, right, is that Shaq was number one. Kobe was number two. They won 3 championships in a row, right? Okay. Now here's my thing.
Which is a feat that's only been accomplished by
Michael Jordan twice.
And the Celtics.
Celtics didn't win 3 in a row.
No, they won like.
Oh no, they won 8 in a row. 8, 9, 10, whatever.
No, there's only been 3 teams in NBA history that won 3 or more championships.
But here's what I'm saying: if Shaq had the mentality of, listen, man, I just want to win. I don't have to be the man. I'll be the man if you need me to, but I don't have to be the man. And let Kobe be Kobe, and Kobe not be the one to step back so that this guy could shine, then we might actually be talking about a different situation also.
And Kobe has said it in interviews that if Shaq had put in, and we've spoken about it before, if Shaq had put in the amount of focus and effort, that the greatest of all time would never be a debate anymore.
It would never. Michael Jordan, you wouldn't talk about Michael Jordan if Shaq put in that kind of effort. If Shaq said, "Yo, my only focus is basketball." How many championships
does Shaq have? He's got 3
4.
with Kobe. He's got 1 with
Dwayne Wade.
And that's it. You know?
Kobe's got 5.
And
Mike's
Kobe's
got
5.
6.
Kobe,
Magic's got 5. Larry Bird's got 3. Okay, so here's the deal.
The GOAT has 4.
LeBron has 4. So
sorry, I don't mean to bash you guys. Anyway,
sorry.
Back to.
But what I'm saying is that if Shaq had the maturity to say, look, whatever is going to work, I don't have to be number one. I will be if needed, but I don't have to be number one. If he would have let Kobe just be who Kobe is, and Kobe didn't have to hold back, you might be looking at Kobe in a whole...
No, and
the whole Michael Jordan thing might be up for debate.
There had been a longer run if that was the case. I mean, if he would have done for Kobe what he did for Dwayne.
Yes. But Shaq had to do that for Dwayne because Dwayne had already proven himself to be a one-man army.
Mm.
Shaq came onto his team.
Yeah, to assist.
Dwayne didn't come on to Shaq's team. Kobe came on to Shaq's team. Dwayne already had the team. Shaq came to help Dwayne out. Kobe came to help Shaq out. So that's why the dynamic was a little different.
And I get that a little bit, but Shaq was a fairly educated man. Did a couple years.
But he was also, feeling himself.
Oh no, he very very much.
He was feeling himself, Yeah. And listen, hey, Shaq, beautiful person, great guy, unbelievable basketball player, the whole package, and he's human. He was doing his thing. He was feeling himself. He was like, "Yo,
he's admitted that he's made mistakes.
Yeah,
he admitted the way he left Orlando was a mistake. He admitted that the dynamic that he had with his quote unquote little brother.
How cool would it be to get Shaq on an episode? Of Shaq,
come on, bud.
Anyways, but just
tower above both of us.
Yeah, we have to get a different camera. But anyways.
No, but I mean, the dynamic that was Kobe Bryant was just, the episode, I'm titling The Man, the Myth, the Legend, only because there was just so many accolades and so many things that he did, so many accomplishments that will never be repeated again. I don't foresee anybody ever hitting 81 points.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Somebody just did.
When?
Bam Adebayo, or whatever his name is. Bam just hit like 83.
Oh, really?
But it was like they sent them to the free throw line like freaking 100 times or something like that. Yeah, no, somebody has already beaten that record this year. And Brian is over here looking up right now because he didn't even know about it. But
I didn't even know about it. No.
Yeah,
it was this year. Yeah, 83 points, March 10th. Good Lord.
Yeah. But
how many years did it take?
They weren't trying to shut Bam down. They were just fouling them to be fouling them. It was funky how it happened. The 81 that Kobe hit was them trying not to let him score. And they knew he was a good free throw shooter, so they weren't trying to put him on the line either. They were trying to put good defense, double, triple, quadruple him. They did everything. Kobe's like, yo, dude, I'm in the zone. Y'all can't stop me. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Bam, it was like, end of the season, nothing's on the line. Here's the thing. Kobe, there were games where Kobe was at like 60 or 70 in the third quarter, and they took him out because they're like, yo, man, just chill. And Kobe's like, all right. And Kobe wasn't looking for those accolades like to say, oh, I scored 100 like Will Chamberlain. He wasn't trying to get that. He backed off. He's like, all right, look, for the sake of the team, to win, why am I out there to prove a point and possibly get hurt? So Kobe was different, man. He really put winning above all else, even if it meant sacrificing himself.
Well, not only
in
winning
any
above
aspect.
all else, he never wanted to see himself to be viewed as weak by anybody, including his teammates. There are videos, and I don't think I have one here saved, but there are videos of him where teammates are coming in for practice, and they're seeing Kobe on the court, and they're doing their thing, and they're going through a practice, and they finish up their practice, and their practice was 45 minutes, an hour, however long it was, and Kobe's still on the court. And then they're coming off the court, finishing up their practice. And then Kobe comes on after them, And he was talking about it. He was like, dude, I was here. Like, I had finished my practice, but there was no way I was going to come off the court and let you see me tired.
Right.
Right. The mindset that man had.
The mindset he had. Amazing. Well, you know what? Here's something that I want to address. And I'm glad, that we're in this video because something that's been bothering me for like months. Stephen A., he was at Gilbert Arenas' little podcast thing that he does. Great show. And Stephen A. said he puts Kobe maybe in his top 5, definitely top 10, but maybe top 5. And some of the guys around her were like, yo, why does he have to fight to make top 5 when he's that good? Stephen A. Smith's rationale was, well, Michael Jordan is better than Kobe. 1 and 2, right? It's 1 and 2. So just the fact that he's number 2 drops him. Okay, so
you might as well drop everybody.
so here's my thing, right? Now, I understand where Stephen A. is coming from to a degree. However, let's do the math here. So you're saying Kobe, the reason why you drop him to maybe 5, definitely 10, but maybe 5 instead of 2 or 3, 2 is because Michael Jordan at the same position was better than him. My thing is like this. Okay, so you're saying, we're asking top 50 players, top whatever players, if you take Michael Jordan and erase his existence, is Kobe still in debate of being number 1, 2? Is he? No. So that rationale right there mathematically does not make sense. I don't care if you got Oscar Robin, Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, whoever you got, Magic Johnson, all these guys. If Kobe was that much less than Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan is clearly number 1, and you put LeBron above Kobe, I'm not feeling it, because take Michael Jordan out of the history books. From what I'm seeing, I think you, Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, there's no way you can justify that.
Exactly.
Complete swing from like 6, 7.
If your top 4 players are all shooting guards, so what? We're talking about the top 4 players in basketball. Top 4 players at the skill level, whatever. If they're all shooting guards, hey, every year the MVP happens to be the quarterback in the NFL, right? When's the last time somebody other than the quarterback was the NFL MVP? That's just what it is. You know what I mean? And the runnings of it all, whatever they are. So Stephen A. Smith, really smart guy, whole package, but I just disagree with how he ranks the players, because he said himself he would rather have Kobe in crucial moments. And really, if you're trying to win, that's what it's all about.
Well, I mean, then that doesn't make sense in the logic that you're giving with, him putting LeBron above him, but would rather have Kobe in a crucial moment.
Exactly.
The guy you want, the ball in hand is the guy that you should have a higher esteem for. And if you're looking at, the rankings, okay, number 1, I would want MJ with the ball.
MJ.
Number 2, I'd want Kobe with the ball. Number 3, I'd want LeBron with the ball, but I'm going to put LeBron above Kobe. Or
just because of the difference of position. Difference in position. Come on, I don't agree with that. I don't.
I look at Kobe, and Shaq has stated, Kobe is one of the greatest, if not, he referred to him as the greatest. I don't see him as the great. I hate boxing like that.
Yeah.
There, as far as the Lakers go, there are so many great players that play on the Lakers. To say that he is the greatest Laker of all time is very hard to say. To say he's one of the greatest Lakers, not a question.
Not a question.
No,
I agree.
Absolutely. Magic, Kareem, Kobe. Boom.
Well, you
can rank that however you want.
Right. I tell you what, for me, now, Magic Johnson is my all-time favorite player because I grew up with him, watching him play, and I saw his ups, his downs, those fights with the Celtics.
But I see him as an all-time great, as the tier goes for me.
Yeah.
Magic being the greatest, just because what he did in conjunction with Bird, in conjunction with other players during that era, but more specifically that rivalry. We're going to have a podcast on that rivalry.
You know what? That's a great idea. Great idea.
Because that single-handedly saved the NBA.
Yeah.
You know, there's no doubt in anybody's mind in that aspect, because people got back to watching basketball because of Bird and because of Magic and because of what they were doing on the basketball at that particular point in time. You know,
I'll say this though, but about Kobe, right? As I'm saying, like, Magic is my favorite player of all time, but what Kobe put into being who he became, the talent he had, the work ethic that he had, what he sacrificed to be Black Mamba. I'll be honest with you, man. I got as greatest Laker of all time. I agree with what you're saying. You know, you got Magic, Cream, Kobe, great, but it's hard for me to fight against Kobe being the greatest Laker I've ever seen because of what he was willing to sacrifice to do it.
Oh no, I mean,
you know,
the talent, like I think it was Dominique Wilkins.
Okay.
That said the quote of you being the last of the old guard.
Okay, it was Dominique that said that.
I think that's who it was, if I remember correctly. And he was, you know, he was the last to push through the pain, the last
and he was proud of that.
You know,
they had to take him out when he separated his shoulder. You know that story? He's playing a game. His shoulder popped out of place. They said, "Okay, Kobe, obviously you can." He says, "Why not? I got another shoulder." This man, okay, I don't know if you've ever separated your shoulder.
I've dislocated my shoulder before.
I have dislocated my shoulder for a split second and it popped back in. Split second. It was like a jolt of electricity shot through my entire body. This guy went out there and played on one shoulder. Then he tried to take a shot with a bad arm. And the coach said, "Man, out. I don't care what you say. I'm out."
Now, my story is slightly different. I was wrestling at the time. Popped my shoulder out during middle of a match. Completely caught the guy off guard, caught me off guard, was able to roll him up into a pin. But yeah, I was done for the day. There was no more matches that I was
that's a wrap. Kobe was playing on a separated shoulder. I tell you, when he he broke his tibial plateau or something like that. Because this dude, he knew he had Dwight Howard and all those guys on the team, and they were losing. That last stretch, I don't know how many games out, that last 15 games, Kobe gave every drop of Mamba venom into those games, and he willed them into the playoffs. He was like, "I don't care I will die out here before we not make playoffs." And he pushed them to the playoffs. He broke his tibial plateau because he was playing so hard, but he willed them to the playoffs. And he says, "Yo, man, please go get a ring for me." You know, of course they didn't do it, but that's just who this man was, man. He was. Well, we won't see another Kobe for years.
No,
for decades.
We won't. Unfortunately, you know, I don't think we'll see. I think the league has banned it. I may be wrong. Not allowing individuals to come straight out of high school anymore. I think they have to be either of a certain age or to go through college for a certain period of time. But I want to do some quotes from Kobe, and then some notable accomplishments. So some quotes. So this one happens to come from when they were talking to Kobe about being more of a team player, you know, and that he needed to incorporate more of the rest of the team into the
strategy,
game.
right?
And the quote, the statement that they gave him was "There's no I in team."
Right.
Do you remember what his response?
There's an ME in that motherfucker.
You know, and that was his mentality to a T, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that he didn't want to give the ball to those, but he wasn't just going to sacrifice the ball to you just for you to eventually give it back to me.
Right.
You know.
Right.
You know, if he was going to give you the ball, you better do something.
Do something with it.
You better be putting it up. You better be driving for it. You better be
drawing the defense.
You better be making a play with that ball. Otherwise, that ball is eventually going to come back to me, and that's seconds wasted that we could be using to garner more points.
Right.
You know?
Right.
My favorite quote of his is, and one of the videos that I watch happened to refer to Kobe in his overall athleticism. Wasn't the most physically gifted individual. He wasn't huge by any particular standard. He didn't have, you know, any particular, you know, skill set straight out the gate as far as like you know, shooting or dribbling or anything like that. You know, what Kobe is quoted as saying, hard work outweighs talent every time. And he is proof of that, that he may not have came in the dominant force in the league, but because of the work ethic that he put in, he made himself, at least in that moment while he was playing, the best player on the court.
Yeah.
You know, determination chases success. Winning takes precedence over all. There's no gray. There's no almost. And that's why I put him above LeBron in the rankings, you know. And we all know my opinion on LeBron as far as where he sits in the tier, you know. But that's where because he never settled for, you know, quote unquote, just the game, you know. It was more than just the game. It was life for him. It was as necessary as breathing.
Right.
In his mind.
Yeah.
You know, from as little as the practice to as big as the finals in the NBA, it all mattered in the mind of Kobe Bryant. You know, I have as much respect as I could have for an individual when he saw that light, that drive, that ambition for the game slowly diminish to the point where he actually said, this will be my last season. You know, he made no falter of it and made it perfectly clear. The reason why is because his heart wasn't in the game as it was last year, you know?
Well, you know what? I know his heart wasn't in it, but probably his heart wasn't in it as much because his body was failing him.
Yeah, no, I get that. You know, his body was failing him, and he was just, you know, every year was a new injury. Every year was a longer recovery
and they were big
period,
injuries.
You know, and
tibial plateau.
He was probably
Achilles
afraid
tendon.
that, you know, there was going to be an injury that was going to diminish his ability to be a good father and a good husband. You know, he was looking at that aspect of his life beyond basketball. You know. You know, I think the saddest moment that I think we dealt with, you know, right before COVID hit, you know, I remember the whispers of COVID, you know, some virus off in some foreign land, and, you know, it hadn't quite come to our shores yet. And I'm watching TV, and the announcement hits. Now, I don't know where you are. I was home at the time.
When Kobe died?
Yes.
I was in Costco.
Yeah.
I remember exactly where I was.
And I literally had to Google on my phone. There's no way this could be true.
I was in Costco. My extremely close friend Rick called me. I was by the meat section. He says, yo, Kobe's dead. I said, what?
Kobe who? We don't know Kobe.
I said, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? It didn't even make sense to me. He said, yeah, Kobe's dead. He says, yo, for real. Yeah, helicopter crash. I said, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. And all of a sudden,
we apologize for the language on this, but you have no idea how emotional this moment is for individuals who have a love and passion, not only for the game of basketball,
but
for the individual himself.
And everybody's like pulling out their phones, like, and that's all I'm seeing. I'm like, oh shoot, this really happened. Wow, man, that was like we lost a piece of history, you know?
Well, not only did we lose a piece of history, but I think we spoke on Tuesday or Friday about it. You know, I see an alternate universe.
Okay.
Where Kobe never passed.
Okay.
His daughter's still alive.
Okay. Ooh, wee.
And Kobe is doing the passion that he loved after the fact, because he loved mentoring.
Yeah,
there are
he did.
Stories of him speaking about new players coming into the league and mentoring him as he was mentored by the old guard before him,
right?
You know, and passing on that knowledge. And we spoke about Kobe. And I'm sorry for bringing up emotions on you. You know, Kobe was a phenomenon, and I know I'm going off tangent right now, phenomenon that the likes of it we will never see, as far as his passion for the game, his passion for his fellow players, his mindset, his love for his family. You know, you can pull up his history, and yeah, he had his skips and his issues and problems and stuff like that. But in the end, he was a family man first.
Yeah.
A love of the game second. And I see a world, like I said, I see a world where he is there alongside his daughter, coaching his daughter, and her on the cusp of entering into the NBA, and there being talks about him being a coach and lifting.
It would have been nice to see what would have happened. It would have been nice to see his daughter go to the WNBA, him coaching the same role that Deion Sanders took.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe would have gotten there first, you know, and who knows, man. It would have been nice to see. It would have been nice to see what Kobe did with business. He was so unbelievably focused. It would have been just nice to see whatever happened with him.
The Kobe that presented himself after retirement was just a man to recognize, to idolize, to understand and enjoy. You know, just a sad loss to have him gone and not with us today. You know,
really.
The memorial that they gave him, where just player after player, MJ, Shaq, came up and told their stories and spoke.
Did Allen Iverson speak on that stage?
I'm uncertain if he ever came up and spoke with him, spoke about him on the stage. But I mean, there's been players that have come forward and said that they had contemplated like retirement and had reached out to Kobe and spoke with him. Kobe was like, "It's the best decision I ever made." You know?
Well, I will say this. Allen Iverson, I'm not sure if on that day he did anything, but he did a tribute to Kobe. And it was like, wow. If you ever get a chance, did you ever see it?
What?
Allen Iverson's tribute.
No.
Ooh. Everybody, you need to watch Allen Iverson's, I think it's A Letter to Kobe or something like that, but it was impressive.
Yeah, the love for this man in and out of the sport is just it's phenomenal. I mean, the what he did, what he contributed to the game, what he contributed, his knowledge will long since surpass him.
Yeah.
As this episode's going to be, he will always be the man, the myth, the legend, the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant, and his ending is one that
cheers to the Mamba.
One last drink. Drink. To Kobe.
To the Kobe. To the Mamba.